Hi Capricorn. So let's do a 4-layered spread to try to capture as much of the energy around you as we can. So I have 2 tarot decks and 2 oracle decks. So there's a 4 of Swords, Ace of Wands, 5 of Swords, Justice, 6 of Swords, 8 of Cups, 6 of Wands, 10 of Swords, the Sun, Temperance. Under this deck is the 8 of Pentacles. Then we'll take 6 of these transparent tarots to get our next layer. So we have 8 of Swords, 4 of Wands, Queen of Swords, the Empress, 6 of Cups, 9 of Wands, and then under this deck is, oh, that's the Fool. Okay. So then we'll take 6 of these oracle cards for our third layer. So these 2 wanted out. So we have the lizard and pitcher plant and the squirrel and chestnut. So we're going to take those. So then we have the elk and ash, the bee and pomegranate, the rooster and sunflower, the badger and ginkgo. Under this deck, the moth and eucalyptus, and then we'll take 2 of these, and then Capricorn, we're gonna really get into this. So there's the cross and the rose, and under this deck is the mouse. So Capricorn, I do get the sense that you're working hard on something, which does not surprise me because you're Capricorn and you're very enterprising. It feels like it's something that you're trying to get off the ground, something you're trying to launch, something that you're trying to begin, but it feels like you keep bumping into walls or you keep hitting a dead end, or just when you think it's about to take off, something happens to stop it. And it almost feels like there's some person in your energy who's being a bit tricky with the mouse. It feels like there's someone who may be misleading in some way or saying that they're helping but not helping. It's giving that sandbagging type of energy that you feel like you're relying on someone to get something done, but they're really not doing it. So you have to do all the work yourself, which is slowing you down. So Capricorn, if you feel like this is your reading, then let's really get into this. So your current energy is the 4 of Swords and the 8 of Swords. So I feel like you are taking a break from whatever this is because it's become too stressful for you. And it's giving that feeling that you're creating kind of a sacred space around yourself because you're trying to figure out who you want to keep in your energy and who is just becoming more of a burden. It feels like you're just kind of dragging someone along with you, but you're doing all the work anyway. So you're thinking, well, why don't I just maybe release this or let this go? But yet it also feels like you're kind of trapped in this situation at the same time. It feels like there's a need to communicate, but we'll see as we go. I see you heading into an 8 of Cups and Empress energy. So I do see you releasing this. I see you walking away from this. The 8 of Cups is about finding something else, seeking something else. You don't necessarily know where you're going, but it's about self-reflection. It's about introspection. It's about understanding your inner wounds and moving away from whatever caused those wounds. And with the Empress energy, I love this here for you because this does tell me that you are expanding and that you are growing by moving away from whatever this situation is here with the mouse, which makes me think it was a person or is a person that you're coming to some kind of a conclusion or some kind of an ending with because you were doing this all on your own. So I think it's time for you to really branch out and do this by yourself, ride the bike alone. So then we have Ace of Wands and the lizard and pitcher plant in your trigger position. So these are two kind of separate, almost dichotomous types of energies, because the Ace of Wands is about igniting something and getting something going and getting a green light. But the Lizard and the Pitcher Plant are about stagnation. So it feels like, again, it's like you're going back and forth between feeling like you're trapped in this situation, but knowing that unless you put an end to whatever this person or situation is for you, it's going to hold you back. And you know that. You want this to put the keys in the ignition. You want to go forward. We have the Fool and the Ace of Wands. But then we have this situation over here with the Moth and Eucalyptus and the Mouse that's really keeping this stagnant and really keeping you from moving your goals forward. So you see yourself as the Six of Wands and the Bee and Pomegranate. You are seeing yourself very correctly, because the Bee and Pomegranate is the exact same energy as this Eight of Pentacles. You're extremely productive. You have your head down. You're doing the work. You're in your full Capricorn energy, because that's exactly what Capricorns do. And you're having a lot of success. So you know you're moving in the right direction with whatever this is you're working on, whatever this thing is you're trying to take off, this thing you're trying to ignite. But yet again, of course, in your environment, we have this going on. So hopefully we'll get more about that. But you definitely see yourself correctly. You see yourself as moving in a new direction, starting over with something over here. Ace of Wands, Six of Wands, Fool, Eight of Pentacles, the Bee and Pomegranate. They all tell me that same thing, that you're moving something forward, but you're doing it on your own. And you know you can do that. You see yourself as doing that. And I see you moving away from this situation and expanding because of that. So then we have Five of Swords, Four of Wands, the Squirrel and Chestnut, and the Cross. So your soul is saying that this is part of your soul's lesson. This is part of a soul contract to not lie to yourself about this situation. Don't continue to drag someone along because you're telling yourself that, but because of this Four of Wands, that I've already made such a foundation with this person, or we've already invested so much in each other, or I've already invested so much in this person or situation, or we share a life, or we share assets, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Make that part make sense for you. But this is, your soul is really asking you not to lie to yourself about this, and to start preparing to do this on your own. But that is kind of your karma with the cross here. It is your karma to have to work through that and not lie to yourself about what's happening in this situation. And I think also with the cross being here too, it feels like your ancestral spirit guides are giving you guidance. So when that happens, it's really important to pay attention to the signs, because they're trying to give you signs when it comes to this situation. So then we have the Ten of Swords, the Six of Cups, the Rooster and Sunflower, and the Rose. So I was getting the sense that there is a need for you to communicate, and especially with the Rooster and Sunflower, I do feel like there is a need for you to really communicate with this person who it looks like you're putting some kind of an ending to. We have the Ten of Swords, which is confirming that this is the end of whatever this situation is for you. Some of you may be clairaudient. I just got that. So if you hear things from your guides, or if you hear things in your dreams, or if you hear things on the radio or through music, so make that make sense for you. But some of you are, so there are signs coming through that way too. So that's for somebody, pay attention to that. But this is really about communicating with this person and making them understand that this is the end, that this is something that you used to need, or this is what you used to do with each other. And it's probably difficult, and it will be difficult, but this is saying that this is the time. This is the time to communicate to this person that it's the end, and that the past is now the past, but there is a need to compassionately communicate that to this person. But with this rose being in your environment, the rose is always about a tangible gift. So it makes me feel like, because you do the hard thing, because it will be difficult to tell this person that you're releasing them, that it's over, that you're riding the bike alone now, you don't need them anymore, whatever that is for you. the universe does want to give you a reward, because the rose does not show up unless there is some tangible reward. So in the form of money or resources or people, it'll be different for everybody. But once you release this and walk away from it, it feels like there's going to be a lot of rewards for you. So then we have Justice and the Elk and Ash. So this, you've already experienced this. You have experienced help from your guides already. I know that a lot of you here are very spiritual already. And so it feels to me like you are perhaps clairaudient, because I did get that for someone. But you also understand that your ancestral spirit guides are helping you. The universe is helping you. Things balance out. You get the strength that you need to do difficult things at the right time that you need the strength to do that. So you've already experienced that. And so that's why I feel like you're going to be able to have this conversation, even though you feel like it's going to be really difficult and it's going to bring out a lot of maybe primal types of pain in both of you. It feels like you know that the universe, though, has your back, because we have both Justice and the Elk and Ash. And those are very spiritual cards of the universe putting wind in your back so you can do that really hard thing. So then we have the Sun and the Badger and Ginkgo. So this is your shadow position. So it feels like there is a little part of you that doesn't want to heal wounds, that kind of wants to bury your head in the sand and just pretend that everything is okay, even though this whole relationship might have become completely dysfunctional. But it does feel like this is a shadow side. But it's a reminder that confronting the shadow side of yourself is the most empowering thing that you can do. Confronting your shadow is the thing that causes that rebirth. If we were to see the Death card in any tarot reading, it's because you've confronted your shadow side. You've alchemized your shadow, and that is the transformation and the rebirth of the Death card. So you can really turn yourself around by being aware, or shifting your awareness away from pretending that nothing is wrong and just pretending that everything is okay, and really confronting the fact that this relationship may have run its course and that it became dysfunctional, or it became stagnant, because we see the lizard and the pitcher plant. So you're manifesting in a Six of Swords and a Queen of Swords. So not only are you manifesting in an escape from this situation, but it feels like you're manifesting in a new person. So you're manifesting in this Queen of Swords person, and gender doesn't matter. Anyone can be a Queen of Swords, but you are drawing in someone who is a straight shooter, someone who handles problems head on and communicative and confidently and courageously. I can see that this relationship you're moving away from, there are communication issues. I can definitely tell that someone or both of you is not talking about this, but this Queen of Swords person that you're bringing into your life is a strong communicator. And I feel like that's what you need in your life around you, is someone who's going to communicate in a very strong and solid way, because I feel like that's part of the lesson that you needed to learn with this cross here, is just learning how to speak for what it is you need. Because right now you're in this Four of Swords and Eight of Swords energy, where you know this person is stressing you out, you feel trapped, but it feels like you're avoiding it with this Four of Swords, that you're just closed off or taking a break from it. It does give a feeling of avoidance, which again, I believe has to do with your shadow side, that you want to pretend like everything is okay when you really know deep down that it's not. So then I see you balancing out with Temperance, with the help of your angels, for sure. I see you balancing out. And this Nine of Wands this is you coming to a conclusion that this is just only going to wear you out if you continue to stay in this energy. But I do see you moving away from it. I do see you expanding from it. So I feel like you may be starting to really see this situation more clearly. And the Nine of Wands is about not giving up. So even if it becomes difficult to communicate to this person or to tell them that it's over, you're not giving up. You want to keep moving forward. You want to get that balance. You would like to move away from this situation. In some cases, you would like to escape this situation and bring in more clear people who will help you to reach your goals or whatever your enterprise is, whatever you're trying to start here and bring off the ground. There is a Queen of Swords energy that's coming in once you release this, and that's going to give you that balance that you need to really move this thing forward, because I can tell that you really believe in this thing. It's just a matter of releasing the people who are kind of dragging you down or keeping you stuck. So there you go, Capricorn. That is your reading. Will you please let me know how this was resonant for you? Consider subscribing to the channel if you like my vibe, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.